pain can never be more than the narcissist's pain. Your achievement is nowhere close to the narcissist's achievement. Your knowledge and experience is nowhere close to the narcissist's knowledge and experience. Yeah. Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about why we get to see this glorification of trauma in narcissistic relationship. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So a narcissist is not like you and me. Yeah, narcissists are different individuals. They are on spectrum. Some are less narcissistic, but with time, with age, they become more narcissistic, toxic and wild, and it becomes very difficult at some point to really be with them. Yeah, I mean, you have to let go of yourself if you want to be in that relationship, or if you want to survive that relationship or that narcissist. You really have to betray your own self. You really have to let go of your wants, likes, needs, desire. You have to let go of all of that. In short, you have to forget about your own self when you are in a narcissistic relationship. So that is how toxic narcissistic relationships are. Narcissistic relationships are 90% abuse and 10% superficial, temporary, on and off good stuff. Yeah, good dinner, good compliment, tiny bit of crumbs. I mean, these 10%, or you can say 5 to 7% of goodness that you see in a narcissistic relationship, it's very material. It's very superficial. Yeah, getting you a dress, taking you out for a vacation, a good dinner, flattery, compliment. That's it. So it's nothing deep. But majority of the narcissistic relationship is made up of abuse in various forms: manipulation, withholding facts, gaslighting, silent treatment, passive aggressive behavior, and the list goes on. So a narcissistic relationship is an unhealthy relationship, and it has a lot of damaging effect on the victim. Yeah, the victims are scarred for entire life. We cannot dismiss, or we cannot invalidate or minimize the suffering of the victims. I mean, a lot of you must have experienced narcissistic abuse at some point in your life, and you guys must be aware as to how it feels. Yeah, to go through all of that. Yeah, you are stuck in that relationship. You cannot say, you cannot stand up against the narcissist. You cannot call out the narcissist. You have to keep shape shifting. You have to keep playing along. I mean, life is like walking on eggshell. I mean, in a narcissistic relationship, healthy relationships are absolutely different. You get to be yourself. But in a narcissistic relationship, you don't get to be yourself. Yeah. Now, coming back to the glorification of trauma, we all know by now that in a narcissistic setup, in a narcissistic relationship, the narcissist is either the victim or the hero or the martyr. That's it. Now, who's the villain? The villain is you if you resist. The villain is you if you stand up against them. The villain is you if you try and expose them and confront them and criticize them. Yeah. So in a narcissistic setup, the narcissist gets to play the victim, the hero, the martyr. Now, we all know that narcissists are into using anything and everything that they have. Yeah, they won't hesitate in cooking up stories. They won't hesitate in altering or changing storyline or timeline to manipulate the victim. So I mean, first and foremost, we all need to understand that in a narcissistic relationship, you should not trust the narcissist, because 80% of the things that the narcissist says is adulterated, fabricated. A lot of information is withheld. A lot of manipulation goes in the play. So don't buy whatever the narcissist says. Don't take them seriously, and don't trust them. Yeah, because they always come up with some manipulated version. So the narcissist over a period of time gets to learn that Traumatic events can also be monetized and, used to further manipulate and gaslight and abuse the victim. So, when the narcissists understand that, every life event of his or her life can be, a little bit of information can be withheld, a little bit of new things can be added, and they can, fabricate it and use it to further exploit, manipulate, and abuse the others. So narcissists don't hesitate in using anything and everything that they have. Yeah, they use anything and everything to get what they want. Narcissistic individuals lack empathy, so they really don't care what goes inside of you. Yeah, they may appear to be someone who's gone through the worst, and you fall for that trick, and you then take up the role of their rescuer, and you begin to do things for them, only to realize that there is nothing wrong with them and they are perfectly okay individuals. He or she simply manipulated me into doing things for himself or herself. So this is how narcissistic individuals are. So the first reason why narcissists get into glorifying their trauma is because of control. Yeah, they want to control their victim. And how do they get to control their victim? By narrating a sad story, by narrating a life event which really scarred the narcissist. Mind it, they might go through a lot of things in their life. Yeah, I have gone through a lot of things in my life, but that doesn't give me the liberty and license to abuse, exploit, and manipulate others. I won't do that. To an extent where I damage others, I will never engage into that. Yeah, in some condition we all do manipulate, and it's okay if it's in that healthy limitation. But if it is hurting someone, if it is damaging someone, I think then that manipulation takes form of an abuse. Yeah, so these narcissistic individuals are big time into projecting themselves as the martyr, hero, or the victim. They are never the villain. Yeah, you all know who the villain is. If you call them out, you're gonna be the villain. If you say no to them, if you criticize them, you are going to be the villain. They are never the villain. Yeah, so the narcissists use a lot of these storytelling. They use a lot of these I would say cooked up manipulated stories from the past, what they went through, and how they have come this far. They will add in a lot of salt and pepper so that you would really feel emotional about it. You would really feel sorry for the narcissist. Yeah, and this is basically to lure you into their trap. This is basically to get you on board. That's it. So you become their rescuer, and you just do anything and everything to make them happy or restore their faith back into humanity and humans. Yeah, so first reason is to control. They glorify their trauma. Never trust a narcissist, no matter what story they tell you. If it would have been this much, they will cook it up to be like this serious issue, and they will place themselves like a victim in that story, and how they had been brutalized and antagonized by the others. But they did not stop living. They still kept moving forward. Yeah, so that's how they make their stories appear to be, tragic, very sad. Yeah, and the victims fall for it. The victims genuinely trust these narcissists and their storytelling abilities, and they fall for it. Yeah, so the entire idea behind glorifying trauma is basically to establish themselves. These narcissists, they want to establish themselves as the hero or the martyr or the victim. Yeah, I went through all this. I went through this, I had to do this, I had to do that. We all go through a lot of things, yeah. And at some point we have to let go of all of that. We do a lot of things in life, we do a lot of things when we are in survival mode. That doesn't mean we have to keep on repeating, that story to anyone and everyone. That all of the things that we went through, it is for our own experience, yeah. It's not a conversation starter. So, we don't use it quite often. No matter what we go through, I mean, we learn from all of, the events, but we don't, keep talking about those events, that I went this, I did this, I did that. After some time, we stop, talking about those things, because by that time we, might have recovered, or we might have, overcome, and we might have moved on. Yeah, healthy individuals do move on. They don't keep talking about the same thing again and again and again. There is so many other things to talk about. Yeah, we don't get to use our traumatic, experiences as a conversation starter. We don't do that. But for narcissistic individuals, they will not spare anything and everything that is up their sleeve to use it to abuse, exploit, and manipulate others. Yeah. So yes, one reason is, they glorify their trauma to control their victim and the others. The second reason why narcissistic individuals glorify their own trauma is, because they want empathy and validation from the others, their target, their, supply, their victim. We know that narcissists lack empathy, but narcissists are expert in, exhibiting, empathy in front of the others. And they do this so that they may appear to be someone who's kind, compassionate, someone who hears everyone, someone, who has lots of compassion inside of himself or herself. So, for that image, they might appear to be very emphatic, but let me tell you, they have zero empathy on the inside. So they really don't care what you're going through. They are displaying empathy just to know your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities, and to appear as if, they are someone who's very good, someone who's very kind and noble. Yeah. So they exhibit empathy to find out things which they can use later, and to, appear, in a certain way. That's all. Otherwise, do they have empathy on the inside for the others? No, they really don't care. Yeah. And this you can, simply see and gauge, with their, manipulative tactics. Yeah, with their manipulative behavior. They really don't care, throwing you under the bus. As long as they are getting what they want, that's it. Yeah. So narcissists are, individuals, who are expert in creating illusion as if they are on your side. But, on the other side, they might be, digging up a grave for you. You just don't know. So, these narcissistic individuals, they glorify their traumas so that, they can, bag in some empathy and validation from the others. So narcissists, engage into glorifying their trauma to bag in some validation and to, get some attention. Yeah, they want to appear to be someone who's strong, who did not give up, who's still moving forward. Yeah. But, in reality, they are just putting up a show. Yeah, by glorifying their trauma, by talking about their traumatic event and, experience, they are simply trying to bag in validation and empathy and nothing else. Yeah, this is basically a stunt that the narcissists put up to, get what they want. That's all. This is how simple it is. The next reason why narcissists, glorify their trauma is because they want to maintain a false image. Yeah, they are either the hero, the survivor, or the victim, or the martyr. Yeah. So, narcissists in general, build a false facade by withholding information, manipulating, twisting facts. They build a false facade, and that's how they survive. That's how they, lead their life, yeah, that difficult backstory, that sad story, and that's it. And they go on telling you again and again and again. Every time they come across a prospect, every time they come across a good source or a supply or a victim, they're going to narrate their sad story, trap them, make them their rescuer. And then what happens next. Yeah, you are in that trap, you are in that cycle, it gets very difficult, and your life is messed up. So coming back to the third reason why narcissistic individuals are victim into glorifying their trauma is, because they want to maintain that false image. Narcissistic individuals are insecure individuals, and they find it impossible to be authentic. They find it, very difficult to be themselves. Yeah, because they are not happy with their own selves. Yeah, so they get into this business of lies, withholding facts, manipulating things. So that's how they build a false image, they build a false facade where they feel safe, and that's how they project themselves. Yeah, they can have all different kinds of story, that they left this much of money, they left this family, they left this person, and still they kept moving forward. They did this for people. So they have got various version of stories to narrate. So yes, narcissists glorify their trauma uh, in order to maintain their false image. Yeah. The next reason why narcissistic individuals are into glorifying their trauma is because of this victim perpetrator switch. Narcissistic individuals are expert in playing victim. Yeah, so whenever they are called out as the perpetrator, as the abuser, as the bad guy, they immediately switch and change places. Yeah, they will gaslight the victims that they are wrong, they are being abusive, and they will start playing victim. Yeah, and they have endless sad stories to back that character, that image that they project. Yeah, I went through this, I went through that, don't you know, how can you do this with me, how can you treat me like this? So the narcissists are expert in playing victim. At any given point, if they see that they might be exposed, or they might be criticized, or they might not get what they want, or they fear losing, they will immediately start playing victim. They'll bring out that victim card. I have gone through this, I have experienced this, don't you know? So how things are. So yes, narcissistic individuals are expert in that victim perpetrator switch, and because of that, they are big time into glorifying their trauma. A narcissistic individual is not going to glorify or address or recognize others' trauma. Yeah, only the narcissist trauma, pain, achievement, suffering is the greatest. That's how things are in a narcissistic relationship. We all know that. Yeah, I mean, your pain can never be more than the narcissist's pain. Your achievement is nowhere close to the narcissist's achievement. Your knowledge and experience is nowhere close to the narcissist's knowledge and experience. Yeah, so narcissists always have an upper hand, and they live in that delusion. Yeah, they know it all, they are righteous, they are perfect, they deserve all that special treatment, they need all that attention, admiration. That's how things are. And the last reason why narcissists are into glorifying their trauma is because they want to gaslight their victim. Yeah, now what gaslighting does is that it confuses you, it makes you doubt your own thought, feelings, actions. And if you are in that state for a longer period of time, you become very vulnerable, and that's what the narcissists want. Yeah, they want to confuse you to such an extent where you become vulnerable, and you become moldable, and they can mold you into anything. Yeah, that's when they start training you to shape shift. Yeah, with a lot of gaslighting, one experiences cognitive dissonance, and the victim is unable to decide whether at all the narcissist is bad or good. Yeah, because the narcissist might appear to be abusive, but sometime the narcissist might appear to be very vulnerable, very weak, someone who has been through a lot. Yeah, so narcissists are expert in putting up such drama, and that really confuses the victim. The victims are unable to decide whether at all what happened with them was bad or what happened with the narcissist was bad. What they endured was bad or what the narcissist endured was bad. Yeah, that's the kind of confusion that is created with all that lie and withholding facts. So narcissists will project their trauma in such a way that you would feel that you have not experienced much. He has gone through a lot, she has gone through a lot. Yeah, and this is what creates the cognitive dissonance. This is what makes it impossible for the victim to take a stand or stand up against the abuser, in this case the narcissist. Yeah, because the narcissist is not bad all the time. Sometimes the narcissist is good as well. Sometimes the narcissist projects that they are someone who has been wronged, someone who has given up on life, someone who is zero trust on humanity, on human. Yeah, so that's how they appear sometime, and this is basically to bait the victim. Yes, this is basically to gaslight and confuse the victim, so that the victims are enabled to come to a conclusion that the narcissist is a bad person. They keep the victim confused, and then they use a lot of breadcrumbing, some good compliment, a vacation, a dinner. So it's a great deal of confusion that goes inside the head of the victim. Yeah, they are unable to decide who they are with. Is that person the abuser or is that person the victim themselves? Yeah, so that is how manipulative narcissistic individuals are. So yes, these are the reasons why a narcissist always glorifies his or her traumatic experience and trauma. Yeah, your trauma, your experience, your pain, your suffering is less in front of the narcissist. Yeah, and this glorification of their own trauma basically helps them to have a better control over you or over their victim. This helps them control their victim better. You have gone through this? Oh, come on, things are even more difficult for me. I have gone through this. Yeah, the manipulated version. And the victim is confused. Victim is like, I mean, did I really suffer that much, or has the narcissist suffer even more than me? Yeah, lots of cognitive dissonance. So yes, this was it. This is all about why narcissists are so obsessed, or you can say they are big time into aggressively glorifying their trauma and experience and not the others. Yeah, so in case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.